Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we are sitting here on my lunch. We got leftovers from Mountain Mike's Pizza here in Rancho Cordova, California. Pretty easy day today. I saw that on SmackDown, they announced the match, which is going to be a rematch. We've seen this match a couple times. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that we've seen it too many times. But it's going to be Kevin Owens going up against AJ Styles for the United States Championship yet once again. This time, there's going to be a special guest referee, that being Shane McMahon. Just days before, there was rumors flying everywhere that Shane McMahon was in training. He was actually training to be coming back and having a match against one of the big stars of SmackDown. That, of course, is a rumored name was going to be Kevin Owens. Some people were pointing the finger to Shane having that match at SummerSlam, with SummerSlam being the second biggest show of the year for WWE. I'm not going to go right into saying that it's one of the biggest paydays that he could get for working one of those shows, but obviously SummerSlam is a show that has a name behind it. It's known for having, big matches that mean something. It's sort of planning out the back half of the year for SmackDown in the upcoming year. I know that after SummerSlam, wrestling sort of hits a lull. It's not like they go into the off season and we still have Monday Night Raw and SmackDown every Monday and Tuesday. We still have 2 pay-per-views each and every month until Survivor Series in November. But, it's sort of, at least, I can never remember how, there's so many shows when they go. But in the old days, it used to go SummerSlam to Night of Champions. And Night of Champions normally would have a pretty big show. I mean, they did the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar rematch there. And it's not like they ever really just tank it in. I mean, if you go into a show with, sort of, I don't want to say low expectations. Most of the times you have some fun watching it if you like wrestling. But SummerSlam's supposed to have the bigger matches. So we're not going to be getting the Shane match. But just because we're not getting the Shane match at SummerSlam against Kevin Owens doesn't mean the match isn't coming. Like I said, SummerSlam has the biggest name recognition, but they could do this match at Night of Champions, especially if it is a championship match. What if Kevin Owens wins the championship and still feels cheated or slighted by Shane, and that's where Shane steps in and says that, he's not a chicken, he'll step up, he'll have the match, and we're off to the races, and it is what it is. Now somebody's probably going to comment down below that Night of Champions is a Raw pay-per-view, and I don't know anything about wrestling. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't know. What's fun about this match is that although AJ Styles is a babyface, both of these guys have issues with Shane McMahon. At least I haven't seen Shane and AJ kiss and make up. They just had their match at WrestleMania. That was back in April. We're not too many few months removed. I know that AJ sort of had a phantom face turn out of the middle of nowhere. If there was anything that happened, I can honestly say that I missed it. But I like the place that they're in. I know that a lot of people were really confused about the Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles roll-up and then sort of the reversal at Battleground. I thought the match was good, although I thought the match ending was a little bit confusing. We've seen reversals out of pins before, and I don't really know what to think about all the stories coming out about Vince changing his mind at the last minute, or if there was a phantom, somebody going into business for themselves. Honestly, in my mind, if that was a real story, that would be a bigger story of somebody just trying to get a pinfall. The only time I've ever heard about that story, a story like that, if somebody going into business for themselves in a major company to win a championship, was during an RF Video Shoot interview with Jeff Hardy. And, they talked about the ladder match that he had for the WWF Championship against Undertaker back in the day. And they asked him if he ever thought about grabbing it. And he fucking said, yeah. who wouldn't want to be the number one guy, even if, it's only for a week? They still have to tell that story of coming back next week to get the championship off of you. But, what would have happened if he just grabbed it? And I think this is going to be a good match. Obviously, Shane has to do something, or there's no point of putting him out there. So that is something to look forward to. I think this is going to be one of the most featured matches on the entire show. I mean, you've got Nakamura going up against Jinder Mahal, his first shot at the championship, and him being undefeated. That's a big storyline. There's a few things on this show that really sort of reach out and grab you. I'm guessing they're going to be doing Cena versus Baron Corbin. And then it looked like Rusev. Who was Rusev going to have a match against? Son of a gun. He just had that really good match against Gable. And Gable's another guy. He might not be on SummerSlam, but he's a guy that's going to be picking up some momentum, and he's going to be moving forward. I can see this going either way. It'd be fun if Kevin Owens was the champion going up against Shane in the future. So, as of right now, I pick Shane to get the win.